Guys, y'all see what the thumbnail is. You know what time of season it is. You know what is going to go down in the month of March. It's NCAA time, guys. We just wrapped up all the conference champions. All the at-large bids have been made. The brackets came out. If you are one of those guys who like to have a hard copy of the newspaper, you got the paper, the section of the paper. You went to your copy. Matter of fact, let me tell you what you do. You cut it out. This is old school shit right here. You cut it out. You place it on the printer. And you print you about 25 copies because you running a pool at work. Now, that's the old school way. You ain't got to do it no more. Now they got a PDF file that you can print off, or you can do like we do, have a CBS bracket challenge. There's all forms of way you can do it now. But nonetheless, with that being said, welcome. Welcome to the basement. We are here to talk sports. Sports recap, NFL, the GIST NFL, everything, the round table. It's all here today. We're going to talk about it. It's a special time of the season. This is the time where college basketball is on the big stage, and that's their time to shine. Y'all just heard me play the One Shining Moment by RIP for Luther Vandross. They tried to do it different. It didn't work. They had to bring it back. Don't try to switch up. If it's good, let it be good. Let me tell you another time it happened. When my man 50 Cent and that power intro, he changed it to somebody else. I think it was Trey Songz. No. That was a bad idea. So you had to bring Joe back. Huh? You had to bring Joe back. Get Joe continue to play the Joe version. Don't play that Trey Songz. I know Trey Songz may be the hottest thing going at the time. Who cares? If it works, it works. Ride with what's working. Don't try. If it ain't broke, then don't try to fix it. And that's what they try to do with the Luther Vandross. And guess what? The fans let them know, hey, no. We want Luther's version of One Shining Moment. We like that better. And that's why I got it downloaded. So when the time comes, we play it. Now, I won't play this again until the Final Four, the championship game. They're following after the championship game. Well, I can't say that because championship game is going to be on a Monday, just like my show. So I'll probably play it for the championship game, well, the final games. It's whoever those two teams are going to be. I don't know yet. I looked at the bracket, but I didn't. My man said, what are you doing? We talking about sports. It's college basketball time. It's their time to shine. We got to give these young men the opportunity to shine. The hell with the NBA. NBA's okay, but it's not that good. Right there, you see that son bitch. Stop playing with me. Huh? I'm 50 years old and still got my hairline probably stronger than yours. And I know you're young because you're talking like this. Where's your hairline? My hairline's stronger than yours. And you probably 25. And I'm twice your age, and mine is stronger. He said, no, ugly. Let me tell you who else is ugly. Your goddamn bull-dagging ass mammy. You got two mamas. So you need to stop this shit. But look, I'm not going to go back and forth with this clown. Hit the like button since you want to make jokes, buddy. You're goddamn right. And tell your two mamas or your two daddies that you love them. And be glad that you can still live in your goddamn two daddy, two mammy ass basement. She didn't have to do that. We know you ain't got no goddamn money. You're broke. You got broke language. Well, let me, you know, my man, I got both. You mad because you got two of the same. Now, whichever one it is, I don't know. Two daddies or two mamas. Enjoy life, clown. But do me a favor, since you want to harass me, hit that goddamn like button. I'm sick of going back and forth with you. How am I broke when you're broke? You look broke. All right, I'm done. Push the goddamn button, dog. And everybody who's watching, push the goddamn button. You passing through. Push the button. You watching me on replay. Push the goddamn button. I appreciate you. I promise you I do. With that being said, let me say this. I'm glad to be here on a beautiful Monday. It's a beautiful thing. Huh? It's a beautiful thing. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad you are here with me. You could be anywhere, but you chose to be here with me, and that's all that matters. But you know something? I got cats like this guy in the chat who wants to harass me. He wants to harass me. Well, I'm going to fix that. Yeah, let me give you about 10 minutes. Think about it. It's all good, though. It's all good. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you being here. But hit that goddamn like button. What's the goddamn button? You lazy motherfucker. And tell your two daddies to teach you how to be a man. I'm sure there's one of the men in the relationships. Who knows? I really don't give a goddamn about your ass. Die slow death. Guys, with that being said, I'm just glad to be here, guys, with you. Keep on watching, keep on paying attention, even my haters. You keep me relevant. Shout out to you, Elijah. But with that being said, I was watching the games. A couple of games I was watching was, of course, the Arkansas and the Vanderbilt game. It was a good game for a while. You know, Vanderbilt held their own. But Arkansas came through. They got a hell of a point guard. That dude's a top 3 pick. That guy's a top 3 pick. Top 3 picks in the draft. He's going next year. He ain't come back. He's a top 3 pick. And it showed. It showed in that game yesterday. He proved his mettle. But you know something? I didn't realize that the Pac-12 didn't have a conference tournament this coming year. I thought it was in 2026, but it's in 2027 is when they're going to get back to going. So in 2027, the Pac-12 will be back as far as the conference. I was a little disappointed because I was wondering what that's normally is, because normally they play on the Saturday games. They used to, but they didn't have one this year. So we had the other. You had the Big Four, as we call them, and then your plus one, which is the Big East. The Big East is the plus one. They the extra one to get to tag along. They like the third wheel, huh? You understand what I'm saying? The Big East is like the third wheel. They don't have football for conference over there. They just strictly basketball. But come basketball season, you got to recognize them, right? You got to recognize them. Reason why, you got back-to-back champs in UConn that's in the Big East. They used to be in the AAC for a while, but then they came back to the Big East. So you got to acknowledge them because they do have champions over there. You got St. John, who won the postseason tournament over there in the Big East. Not once, but twice. Shout out to Rick, Hall of Fame coach that he is. But me mentioning the conference, the titles, let me go and name the ones who won. So on Saturday, we had an ACC champion name. And ACC champ was the Duke Blue Devils. I'm not a Duke fan. I ain't. I'm not ashamed to say I'm a Duke hater. But I respect a good team when I see one. So I got to give them props and their respect. Duke ended up beating Virginia 74-70 to win the ACC title. Isaiah, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to mispronounce the young man's name. Isaiah Evans led the team with 20 points. Of course, Duke was one of the number one seeds in a tournament, and they in an AP poll to finish out the end of this week. They are number one. So congratulations to Duke. Also on Saturday, as I named earlier, the Big East champs for the Big East was the St. John's Red Storms. Now, St. John beat UConn pretty bad. It was embarrassing. And truth be told, I'm trying to figure out why UConn's coach wasn't suspended for that game, being the way he acted the final game of the regular season against Marquette. He definitely deserves to be suspended, but he didn't. He got fined, but he didn't get suspended. But UConn ended up losing 72-52. St. John won the Big East title. Congratulations, Rick, once again. It was back-to-back Big East tournament title for Ricky P. So shout out to the OG of college basketball. Those are on Saturdays. Now, on Sunday, we had the Big Ten title. And the Purdue Boilermakers end up upsetting the Michigan Wolverines. Purdue defeated Michigan 80-72 for the Big Ten title. Purdue went on a second half run to close out the game with strong free throw shooting. Congratulations to Purdue, the Boilermakers, Matt Painter. Shout out to the Hill. Not a big Purdue guy. My team, Kentucky, got the opportunity to play them in the preseason. Of course, we won handily, but that's preseason. Who cares, right? But it's just what it is. Also on Sunday evening, the SEC champs was the Arkansas Razorback. Woo Pig Suey. Arkansas won the 2026 SEC tournament in Nashville and secured a conference automatic bid for the NCAA. Arkansas uses strong defense and rebounding throughout the tournament to capture the title. Congratulations to my former coach, John Calipari, for winning the SEC. Now, they had a bracket release, of course, 6 o'clock on Sunday. And one of the teams I know they was talking about was Miami of Ohio and how they play no tier 1 teams at all during their regular season or, of course, in that conference tournament. And I know a lot of people was holding that over their head. I even heard Bruce Pearl, former Tennessee, former Auburn coach, former Southern Indiana coach. I heard him speaking on how he doesn't think Miami of Ohio deserves a bid in the tournament. I heard some also other people also speaking about how they do deserve an opportunity to get in. Well, it looks like the tournament committee kind of agreed. They kind of agreed with Bruce Pearl because they was the last teams in. They didn't win their conference tournament, right? They end up losing to UMass, but they did win the regular season. So with that being said, I'm gonna pull up this the bracket. I'm in the bracket challenge. I will be filling out my bracket. Probably do it about Wednesday. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do not a live show, but I'm gonna definitely make sure I record it and upload it for you guys to see. And I want you also leave in the comments. Let me know what y'all think about my bracket. See how I stack up maybe to some of y'all guys' bracket. With that being said, let's go on and pull it up. So right here we have the bracket. I apologize, guys, if you can't see it. It is awfully small. I apologize to you for that. But I will name it out. So when you think about Miami of Ohio, they are in the playing game. It's crazy. So right now, this is what they have. They have an 11th seed. Miami, Ohio has a playing game between them and SMU. Now, SMU is a pretty good team. They got a pretty decent team. They're coming out of the APC. Should definitely be a very challenging game between the two teams. I'll be very interested to be watching that game. Let me see. When I look at the tails of the tape, right now it has 17% chance. 17% of the brackets pick Miami, Ohio. 83% picks Tennessee. Field goal percentage is 52% compared to 46% by Tennessee. 3-point percentage is 39th compared to 33%. Free throw percentage is 75 for Miami, Ohio compared to 69% from Tennessee. But Tennessee's favorite. But that's what they think of Miami, Ohio. And I don't blame them. I've seen them play in one game. I wasn't that impressed. And it was a final game in the regular season. They played a close game. They probably should have lost, but it ended up winning, pulling it out. But that's just the way it is. That just shows you, man, that the committee, takes them tier one games very seriously. And being that they didn't play in any, they wasn't impressed. Quinn said, when does a game start? Well, you have to play in games Tuesday, and then, of course, the other one's on Wednesday. The Tuesday games, those guys end up play on Thursdays and Saturdays in the next round. I mean, in the official 64. The guys who play on Wednesday officially plays on on Friday and Sunday. So those are some of the games that's going to be played this weekend. So the game I'm talking about, watching, Quentin, is the Miami of Ohio versus SMU, and that's played on March the 20th. Right? That's played on March the 20th. Now, unfortunately, I don't have the times up here. I just got the dates. But that's one of the games I definitely want to see. I've seen both teams play. Now, I only see Miami, Ohio play one time. And I've seen SMU play at least 3 times. Once against Louisville. I've seen them in the ACC tournament play. And he also played against Duke, and Duke beat the brakes off of SMU. But I don't know what the I don't know what to think about that game. You know what I'm saying? Because it should be interesting. Quinn said, Uncle, I'm doing my bachelor party next week. Pray for me that the people that come ain't no good. He said the peoples that's coming ain't no good. He knows he's got some heathen family members and friends and loved ones that are coming, but he's praying and hoping that he doesn't fall into the temptation of the flesh. He said, I'm going to go to Magic City, the Black Diamond in Dallas, Texas, or one of these other fine establishments where they have plenty of liquor, that sin juice. Maybe he's going to Vegas. You know what they say about Vegas? What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. But for some reason, he decided to invite these heathenish folks to his bachelor party. He knows they're going to take him down a dark road. Quentin's praying he comes out on the other side. Well, Quentin, I hope that's the case for you, my brother. I hope you come out clean on the other side. Hopefully, the sight of these beautiful young nurses and college student girls don't take you under. Hopefully, they don't end up getting you a personal lap dance. Hopefully, nature doesn't take over like we all know it can. And you can find a way to turn away from these beautiful women that will be at your bachelorette or your bachelor party. I'm sorry. Stay strong, my brother. Stay strong.
Lord Jesus.
That's all I can say.
Lord Jesus.
We'll see. I'm sure my man Quinn's gonna have some great stories to tell us in the chat this time next week. Huh? Hopefully he doesn't score. If y'all know what I mean. Hopefully. He said, I won't let the devil win. No, that's right. Be strong, young blood. Be strong. Remember, you got one that I'm sure is a beautiful woman inside and out, and you don't want to go into your marriage with some baggage that you're going to regret later. Stay strong. Shout out to Quentin. Shout out to the soon-to-be Mrs. Quentin. And I send nothing but prayers and blessings and a long-lasting marriage, and may they make a lot of beautiful babies. And maybe he has a young Quentin who's going to be a Bird fan. How about that, Quentin? How about that? Does that sound about right? Do me a favor, guys. Y'all hit that goddamn like. Quentin ain't going to keep on messing with me. I'm not going to keep on talking Quentin. Quentin crazy as hell.
What's the goddamn button?
He's a Minnesota Vikings fan, so we got to kind of have a level of grace for his ass. He don't know no better. Oh, Lord, let's get back to it. Let me say this. Right now, if you ask me right now, and I had to put, some change on the line, who would I pick to win the title. I would say it'll be a rematch of the early 2000, and I want to say 2000, and I want to say about early 2001 when the Arizona Wildcats played against the Duke Blue Devils, and that's the team I think Jason Williams was on when they beat your boy Tony Woods for the NCAA tournament. I want to say about 2001. I could be wrong, guys. Y'all can fact check me if you want. I could be wrong though. I won't say we're gonna have a rematch of that title, but I think the results will be different than it was the last time. I think it'll be Arizona winning the title over the Duke Blue Devils. That's my early prediction. Now, I haven't really got the opportunity to look at the bracket and kind of break it down and do my due diligence just yet. Not just yet. I've seen a couple matchups that I like. I also seen, that 2 and 15 matchup. We always talk about the 2 and the 15 matchup. There's normally an upset in the 2 and 15 matchup. I have looked at that. I don't see that this year. Because right now, the 2 and the 15 matchup is UConn versus Furman. You got Purdue versus Queens. Now, this is Queens' first time in the NCAA tournament. I heard them talk about it yesterday. You have Iowa State versus Tennessee State, and you have Houston versus Idaho. Those are all 4 your 2 and 15 matchups. I don't see that happening this season. Right? I don't see the 2 and 15 upset this season. Not in the first round. And could it happen in the next round against the 7-10? I can see that. But not that first round. I can't see it. Not the ones I'm looking at. Not the ones I'm looking at. But like I said, I'm going to break it down. And on Wednesday, I say I want to release. I may release it on Wednesday, maybe Thursday morning. Depends on my schedule. But I'm definitely going to make sure I break it down and shoot a video so you guys can see and maybe kind of match. I think I'm going to do it Wednesday because y'all may want to look at my bracket and use some of my knowledge. Huh? Y'all may see my bracket and want to use some of my knowledge and to simulate my picks. Huh? I'm just saying, y'all might want to. My man B1 Trucker. B1 Trucker comes through. He said, I'm a UConn fan, but man, St. John smacked us around. He said, Ricky P is the king of the Big East right now. Back to back. Big East title. He came through the door. I said it before. The mic will never magnetize me anymore. It's writing me, biting me, fighting me to rhyme. I can't hold back. I'm looking for the clearing up my throat. Here, boy, y'all don't know about that. The rhyme will be kicking until I kick my last note. My rhyme got all kind of ideas. Make the thought look clear to me. Boy, y'all don't know about that. See, you don't know about that? You know where I got that from? I came in the door. I said it before. Eric B. make him clap to this, which I know about that Eric B. and Rakim. Huh? That's that paid in full. Now, for you guys who don't know, for you guys who don't know, huh? Let me say it again for the people in the back, for the slow folk. For you guys who don't know, I'm a fan of some good old Rakim. Huh? Matter of fact, Rakim, I got a statue that I made action figure of the week. For those who did not see my video, I made it my trailer. But those who didn't watch that, shame on you. It's on my page. It's on my TikTok. It's on my IG. It's on FB. I even uploaded on my YouTube channel. But guys, let me give you a brief image of what my album and Funko Pop of the week, my action figure of the week is. There we go. As y'all see, album and action figure of the week is Eric B. and Rakim. Huh? Well, y'all don't know about that. See, y'all don't know about that. Yeah, one of the coldest lyricists out there. That man was ahead of his goddamn time. Shout out to Rakim, the God. Huh? B1 Trucker said, I pity the fool who didn't watch that goddamn video. Shout out to Mr. T, Clubber Lang, B.A. Baracus. Boy, y'all don't know about that, boy. Y'all don't know about that. Y'all remember Mr. T cereal? Y'all remember watching the A-Team? Huh? Y'all don't know about that, boy. I'm showing my age. Matter of fact, he was a voice in the Meatball movie. Huh? It's raining meatballs. Y'all gotta see, you gotta understand. Y'all gotta remember this. I'm old. I know some of these things. I still remember some of these things. He also played in a movie called DCK. Trucker said B.A. Baracus was a bad mother. Watch your mouth. I'm just talking about B.A. B.A. could stand to fly. Somehow, some way, every time they had to get on a plane, they found a way to get him. Them goddamn tranquilizers, they was knocking his ass out. And Murdoch used to mess with him. Used to give him hell on a regular basis. Oh. He said, I'm telling my age in the chat. No, that's right. We OGs, B1. We OGs, and that's okay. It's a blessing. I'm 50, and I ain't ashamed to admit it. I don't care. Call me an OG unk with a whole, okay, that's cool. I can accept all of that. But it's a blessing. He said MacGyver. Hey, man, I'm watching MacGyver create bombs out of paper clips, a number 2 pencil, and some peroxide. Hold on, man. You're not supposed to be on these goddamn sports. B1, I can't let you get me off the sports thing. Man, we can't do this. We can't go down memory lane. We too old heads. We can't be doing this. We got to get back on these goddamn sports. But let me say this. My man was talking about St. John's and Rick P. Shout out to Rick. Let me say this about Rick. Rick's a winner. No matter what you feel about Rick, Rick's a goddamn winner. Rick took Kentucky to the tournament. He took BU to the tournament, Iona to the tournament, Louisville to the tournament, St. John's to the tournament. That guy is a winner. Don't forget Providence to the tournament. Hawaii to the tournament. He took Providence, Louisville, and Kentucky to the Final Four. You know the only other coach that did that? John Calipari. And they both at one time coached for UK. That's crazy, but that's the truth. John Calipari took UMass, Memphis, and Kentucky to the Final Four. Good coach. I got nothing but respect for Rick Pitino. Nothing. I know what he can do. He don't play. He can coach the hell out of some coaching. He's a hell of a coach. And that's why he won back-to-back Big East. That's why he beat UConn for the title. That dude ain't no joke. My man said I had Texas Tech making a deep run before Toppin got hurt. Yeah. I like Toppin too, man. Toppin's tough, brother. Toppin is tough, man. That dude was tough, man. I hate to see him get hurt like that, man. I really did, man. He was definitely a scoring machine and definitely a game changer. And unfortunately, Texas Tech's gonna have a hard time getting out of the division without him. He really is, man. Because even if they win against Akron, that second round game is going to be tough too against Alabama. But now you never know what Alabama team is going to show up. But they're still going to be a tough out. But if Texas Tech somehow gets past Akron and Alabama and meet up with Michigan, that's more likely where their season going to end. That's not bad. Making it to the Sweet 16 and your best player not playing for you. That's not a bad run, truth be told. I mean, let's be honest. Not a bad run. So, Trucker, I mean, I definitely hear what you're saying. He said they might squeeze past Alabama, and I could see that because you never know what Alabama team is going to show up. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what Alabama team is going to show up. You know, that's the beautiful thing about this tournament, man. You had the Cinderella effect. Somehow, some way, some of these teams you don't expect to get in there, be in there. Make it to the Sweet 16, make it to the Elite Eight, and sometimes make it to the Final Four. That's just the way this tournament is. You never know. Now, I won't go this far and say that a Cinderella is going to win a title this year. I can't see that. I can't see that. Because it's too, let me say this, it's really open for real. I mean, as far as the Final Four. Now, winning the title, I think there's only probably about 3 teams that I think legitimately can win a title. I think one's Arizona, other one's Duke. And I think I want to say Florida and Michigan, which ironically they all the number 1 seed. I like Florida because you got to respect the champs. They the champs for a reason. And I really don't think they'll run into no competition until the Elite Eight. Let's be honest. And that'll be against Houston. Now, Houston's one of those type of teams that can upset a Florida. It's possible. You know why? Because they're looking for the big payback. They looking to get Florida back from last year. So it's very well possible that's going to be the only competition. That won't happen to the Elite Eight. As far as Michigan, we've seen Michigan go on these tough runs, man. Now, they do have some injuries that they have to factor in. Right? You got to factor in Winter Gregory, LJ Casson, and Rickley Layburn. All three of those guys are out. You know, they some good pieces, man, especially for the rotation. So you got to keep that in mind. And I don't think until the Elite Eight, they will have some competition that's in Iowa State. I look at Arizona's bracket out in the West. I don't see no competition for them. Not really. Maybe a team they're familiar with in BYU, if they can make it out that far, I don't know. I don't think Purdue's going to be a competition. Look, Purdue's a nice story, but Arizona's way too athletic for them. I see them automatically going to the Final Four out of their bracket. Now, I think the only competition Duke will have is UConn. So that'll be the only competition I can see Duke having is UConn, but they won't see them until Elite Eight. B1 said Arkansas's finna shock some people. I believe that. But I definitely believe that to be the case for sure. Purdue has already peaked. Yeah. Purdue remind me of a 1965 NCAA team before integration. I don't even know if that's right to say. God damn, I shouldn't have said that. I'm just saying. That's what they look like. 1963. Before integration, you have Purdue. That's what they look like to me. I don't know. I've seen Purdue play when Kentucky played them early in the season, during the preseason. I wasn't that impressed with them. I watched them play yesterday. They did do pretty good. I got to give them credit for that. But as far as making a serious title run, I can't see it. I can't see it. Do I think Illinois is going to shake something? I don't know, man. See, I didn't get to see Illinois play this season. I haven't, and I don't even know it. So they played Penn the first round. They ran into North Carolina, the winner of North Carolina, Virginia, or VCU. Look, I'm gonna say this now. I'm gonna say VCU gonna upset North Carolina. You heard it here first. VCU is going to upset North Carolina. I'm just calling it. If Illinois makes it out to Houston, I think that's where they're going to end up in the Sweet 16. That's it. That's their exit plan right there of Illinois. So I don't know. I know they maintained to stay in the top 25 all season, and Illinois do have a pretty decent coach. But they got Houston in that bracket. And I do like Houston. Houston's one of Houston's one of them scrappy teams, right? I like Houston because of the coach, Calvin Sampson. I like Calvin Sampson when he coached at Indiana, and I feel like he really got a raw deal. The crazy part about it is he got fired, and his final straw at then was because he was sending too many text messages. And now they have unlimited text messages now. That's crazy. A year later, a year after he got it fired, well, sending too many text messages. There's a unlimited now. You can't call on certain times, but you can text. And now they ain't not holding it against him, but they held it against his black ass. He spent a couple years in the NBA as an assistant with the Milwaukee Bucks. Then he came back to college and was coaching at Houston and been successful since then. So I like Calvin Sampson. I think he's a good coach. I really would like to see him win, but I don't know if this year's Houston's the team that's going to get him over that hump. I don't think it's the team. I do like their chemistry. I like what they have, but I don't know if they're the team this team's strong enough to win this season. Let me say that. But like I said, I haven't really got the opportunity to really do my due diligence as far as the bracket matchups. I'm gonna definitely make sure I'll do it prior to my filling out my bracket and upload it for you guys to take in. So hopefully I'm able to help some of you guys to maybe win your bracket challenging at your workplace, amongst your family, friends, and loved ones, at the barber shop, and every other place that you may decide to participate in the tournament bracket challenge. The special thing about this time of season, man, it's fun. Unfortunately for my son and them, they lost in the NCAA Tournament first round. Now, they really probably shouldn't have been 11 seed because they deserve way better than that. But that's what they was ranked. Of course, based on his record, unfortunately, we had to forfeit some games in the first half of the season due to a guy who was on the team that was playing that was ineligible. And it's just unfortunate. He plays for IUS, Indiana Southeast. Now, if you check out my YouTube page, I've been streaming the games, and normally any game I don't go to, I stream and I go live. So if you want to, you can check out previous streams. Matter of fact, Friday night I just did a stream. The game started at 9 o'clock. Y'all heard what it said, right? 9 p.m. That game didn't end till like 12:05. Normally, a game runs about an hour and a half, 2 hours. They went to 4 goddamn overtimes. 4 overtimes. So, for those who don't know, my son, Little Hink, plays for Indiana Southeast at the NAIA school over in Indiana. They won the River State Conference championship game. They won the River State Conference. Their final record was 15-17, but they had to forfeit the whole first semester. If they didn't have to forfeit the first semester, they would have been 10-2 before the Christmas break. And of course, they won 15 games in the second semester. So now, if you do the math, we could talk about they would have won at least 25 games. They would have 25 wins, and we wouldn't have been 11th seed. We definitely, and plus we won a conference. We would have been looking at it maybe a 3 seed, maybe a 4 at least. 4 overtimes, brother. 4. And yes, it was diabolical. I was tired. And the crazy thing about it, we could have won it in regulation. But if you watch that game, you see me cussing these seniors out, and you'll know why I be cussing them out, because of the way they play and the decision making they do and some of the acts that they crazy. Crazy. But you got to watch the game. So all this postseason game. Well, now let me take it back. One postseason game I didn't. They played against Midway. I was at the game. It was at IUS, so I got the opportunity to go to the game and watch it. And the other games I didn't get to go because it was like 3.5 hours a day, and it was during the week. It was on a Tuesday. The other game was on the championship game for the River State Conference game was on a Saturday. I wanted to go, but I had so much going on. I had to work that weekend, so I couldn't go, unfortunately. And the energy in that gym, man, was great. So if you got time, B1 Trucker, definitely make sure you check it out. Matter of fact, Wichita, Kansas is where they played their game at against Friends University of Kansas. 4 overtime. They would have been dead to the world because they had to play the next game in order to go to the Sweet 16. And my brother, if you're not subscribed yet, shame on you. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. I got like 3 of them up here. All 3 of them. I have the Basement channel, the Just NFL, as well as the NFL Roundtable. Definitely make sure you subscribe to all of them. But yeah, it was a great game. 4 overtime is a lot. Because you got to think, there's 5 minutes a quarter. That's another whole quarter, another half. That's another half, right? My son played 54 out of 60 minutes. Did you hear what I said? My son played 54 out of 60 possible minutes. That dude was tired. I'm not going to go over stat line. You'll see it watching the game. But he balled out. He does what he does. My son's only 5'10". For those who may be curious what the size is, he wears the number 4. Number 4 for Indiana Southeast. I hated the way they lost. And the thing about it, I'm sick. Like I was playing in the goddamn game. I'm upset like I played in the goddamn game and my teammates let me down. That's how upset I was. I didn't want to talk to him because I know he was tired and he was probably in his feelings. So I just texted him. After the game, I said, keep your head up. I love you. We just need to go get to work and get strong and get better. He's a redshirt sophomore, in case y'all may be wondering. Where's number 4? Back in the days, I used to call him Light Skin. That was his nickname. Of course, Little Hink was also his other nickname. But, when we were around the house, nobody around, I tease. I said, Light Skin, come here. Our big man. Either one is what we call him. As a father, I couldn't be more proud of him than the way he played. The way he led his team, the way he had to deal with the adversity. Once they got the news, it was a little upsetting to them because they had to forfeit them games. Because those games are really important. It also affected us in the seeding of the River State Conference Tournament. And we could have had at least held we would at least hosted 2 playoffs games in the conference. but we couldn't because we was tied with another team that we ended up beating them the first semester, but we had a forfeit, and they ended up beating us the second semester. So we ended up splitting, but we really didn't because we had a forfeit that win. But we still would have been over them because we would have had a win over them, and that put us at 13-3 instead of 12-4 in the conference. We won like 10 games in a row at the end of the regular season. Them young men ball, they play together. They was what knows there's not some kids who feel some type of way because one guy goes off and the other one doesn't. They was always happy for one another. You know what I'm saying? Even when my son was scoring like he was scoring in the postseason term, and when he only scored like 13 points, other guys were scoring more. He wasn't mad. He didn't feel some type of way. He was happy. My son's a point guard. And when I say the definition of a point guard, he's a point guard. He'd rather lead his team in all times assists and scoring 1,000. He'd rather have 1,000 assists than 1,000 points. That's the way he is. Yeah, this is what it is. Like my man B1 said, he says, congratulations to you on fatherhood, my brother. I swear, I keep my son close, and he's 25, 25 now, so I understand. Right on, big brother. Right on. I enjoy watching him play. He was playing in some summer league games, you know what I'm saying? Like some, street ball, like Rutgers Park type games, but we call them the Dirt Bowl here in my city. I would go to those games, man, just to watch him play because I enjoy watching him play that much. He was always entertaining, it was always fun because he played it the right way. Again, this dude rather pass than shoot. I remember for years, his coach told him, I can't play you if you don't shoot. It's like playing 4-on-5 because he rather pass the ball. He's all the way to the goddamn basket, and he's kicking it out. That's just the way he is. Not because he couldn't go up and make, because he could take a man off the dribble. That first step he got on is something deadly. When he was young, I used to tell him he's the best point guard in the state of Kentucky. Now, some people who think St. Nobody's really don't. They think, oh, well, he's not scoring 25 points and all. Well, that's not a point guard. That's a shooting guard. That's not what he is. He's a point. Your point guard is to establish the offense, set the offense up, make sure the offense ran correctly, get people who needs to get their shots up, and then you're going to get yours when you need to. When the offense is stagnant, then he knows how to go out there and get a point. But that's what's him. But let me tell you what he also do. That dude can rebound. I'm going to say it again. The dude's only 5'10". It's a big man's game. But he's only 5'10". He out-rebounded he was the best rebounder amongst all point guards. You couldn't deal with him. He would out-rebound him. Guys, 6'10", 6'11", 6'8", 6'9". These guys are about a foot taller than him, 3 to 4 inches taller. Yet he out-rebound him. How you be 5'10" and he out-rebounded you at 6'9"? What is it saying about you? What's it saying about you? Ain't got no goddamn heart. Your heart's about as big as the Grinch. Yes, he can. I have people all the time, man, can you get your son to play it? Coach won't let him. That's why he didn't play last year. He played a year before, he didn't play last. Coach didn't want him playing in the street ball tournament because he didn't want to get it hurt. If he's your bread and butter, you don't want to get your bread and butter hurt. You don't want to get him hurt. You don't want to get him injured. off a pickup game. He don't want to, so he didn't play any last year. Now this year, I don't know if he's gonna play or not. I don't know if coach is gonna be okay with him. Probably more than likely, probably not. He's a good kid, respectful kid, well-mannered kid. Got a bright future ahead of him. Whatever he decided he want to do. What he said he wants to get into coach, he can. Opportunity to play overseas, it could be there. But the most important thing I encourage and I want him to do is get his degree. He already knows that. We got to go. We don't go to school just to play basketball. We got to come here and get that paperwork. And he know what I mean. Get your paperwork. And then we go from there. Look, I'm talking too much about my son. It's supposed to be about, but he is. It's because he played basketball. So I'm still up under the umbrella of the subject. But I'm just saying. Guys, I need for y'all to do me a favor. Hit that goddamn like button. Some of y'all feel like y'all hit that like button. I think y'all holding down on me. And if y'all, shame on your ass.
Push the goddamn button.
You're goddamn right. Push the goddamn button. Let me say this. As a black man raising a black son, it's a challenge out here. We're not going to sit there and say it's an easy thing because it's not. There's a lot of temptations. There's a lot of opportunities. And some of those opportunities are not good opportunities for these young black men. We all know we have to teach our sons to be the best version of themselves on a regular basis. Better than some of their counterparts. Better than some of their peers. We know this. But make sure you stay locked in with your kids, and especially your sons. Because they got to deal with certain things that our daughters don't. I never had to tell my daughter about how to handle when getting pulled over by the police. We see how some of these young ladies do act. I watch a couple shows. Shout out to the lead attorney. I watch some of his shows. And some of these ladies, when they get pulled over, there's a sense of entitlement. They act a goddamn fool, ready to fight the goddamn police and the authorities. If that was your son, his ass gonna have a new pair of fronts because they're gonna knock the shit out of him. They're gonna mollywop and curb stop your ass. That's what they do. Some of those things you have to deal with. It's those double standards. We know what they are. But you got to make sure you have those certain conversations with them. Don't try to hold court out on the streets. That ain't gonna work well for you. I told my son, call me and I'll deal with this. You make it home, we'll file a grievance. You make it home, we'll get legal representation. You make it home and you have a story to tell. The story is going to be, officers, you need to leave these young black men alone because not every last one of them are criminals. There are some good black young men out there, and they not about that bullshit. They're about their business. You just being, well, we know what they are being. Now, I'm not going to sit there and say all officers like that. No, I won't say that because that's not true. I'm just speaking on the ones that are. I'm just speaking on the ones that are. Guys, do me a favor. Before I leave here, I need it for y'all to do me a favor and hit that goddamn like button.
Push the goddamn button.
And let me say this one last thing before I go. A couple weeks ago, a young man took his life. Rondell Moore, he's from the city of New Albany, state of Indiana. Went to high school over here at Trinity High School in Louisville. Finished his played high school ball here. Went to college at Purdue. Unfortunately, that man was going through some shit, man. And the shit he went through, he felt like he couldn't do it no more. And he took his life. I hate that for that young man and that man's family. reason why I'm saying this, man, because life is tough. Life is challenging. Life is going to handle you a lot of adversity that you're going to have to deal with on a regular basis. There's going to be some moments in your life that's going to be down and dark, and you don't feel like there's no light ahead of you. For those individuals who are dealing with shit like that, I advise you to get you some help. Whether it's seeking professional help, whether it's seeking some of your fellas, your friends, loved ones, your pastor. I know it's looked down upon in the Black community about getting therapy. I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all. So, fellas, let me say this. Black men, protect yourself at all times. Whether you got to get on somebody's goddamn couch or somebody's Zoom meet, get your mental right. Guys, get a physical. Get your A1C in order. Go get a full physical. Take care of yourself. Get your blood work done. And men of a certain age, make sure you get your prostate check and your colonoscopies, especially ones who are at high risk. Now, if you are not at high risk, they have blood work you can do. But those who are high risk, who has a history of prostate cancer or colon cancer, go get your colonoscopy. Go get your prostate checks. Do what you got to do for your mental as well as your physical. We only get one shot at this life. One shot. We can't hit the reset button like we used to do back in the days when we used to play Super Nintendo. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Or an Atari, or ColecoVision, or Sega Genesis, or the PlayStation. You used to get a reset and you start all over. That ain't how life works. That ain't how life works. You get one shot at this thing. Make the best of it. Make the best of it. Shout out to this brother, man. He said, my son, we brought these boys up right, bro. I appreciate you talking about your son. Mine's right here with me, trucking. I know that's right. God damn it, I know that's right. I know that's right, dog. My man got to take care of black men because life is beautiful. And the new Funko Pop's finna drop. I know that's right. Dog, I'm still waiting on the goddamn ones from the NFL I ain't seen yet, man. I'm sick of this. Hell, they waiting on. I'm trying to get my Caleb Williams Funko Pop. Shout out to the Chicago Bears. Wait for that to drop. I'm going to the Lexicon in Lexington, Kentucky next week. I got to get my tickets on Friday. Looking forward to it, to seeing what things I can find. I just recently got me a new action figure. Shout out to the Iceman. I just recently got me a new action figure. I don't know if you can kind of see it in the back. It's right next to my Galactus. I got that Hot Topic. Y'all see it back there? I got that Hot Topic. I got that Hot Topic Thanos. Got that Hot Topic Thanos for a great deal. I'm not going to say it out loud because it's going to make one of you guys jealous. And I don't want you to be jealous of me. I'm not worthy of being jealous of. But I got lucky. I caught somebody with a great deal. Now, I wasn't able to get the Hulk. I like the Hulk. And it was the Hulk from the Ragnarok Hulk. And so if y'all can see it back here, I also have a smaller version of the Hulk that I want that's from Ragnarok right there. I wanted that, but he wanted too much at a time. And I didn't pay. I didn't get it. Now, I may go back to the shop and try to work a deal with him. Now, I know they got a sale coming up. With that sale, I might be able to find a cut a deal. We'll see. We'll see. I think their anniversary is on April the 1st. So I may have to make a visit. My man said, "You a Bird fan, bro?" Yes, I am. Bird am. Got the opportunity, and it was cold as hell. And I said I won't go to a Birds game after the month of October because it's too damn cold for my black ass. But this was a rare occasion. The last time we was in a playoff and had a real shot was in 2018. Unfortunately, we know what happens. It was the double doink against the Philadelphia Eagles. So it's been a long time, and I decided to go. So I got the opportunity to go to see the Rams and the Birds play. Unfortunately, it didn't end the way I wanted it, but I had fun. I had a great time. Shout out to my guy, Mr. Goggins. He knows who I'm talking about. I'm not going to say his first name. Shout out to that brother. We went up there, had a great time, enjoyed ourselves in the city. Only stayed a day. Didn't stay for long. We went on a weekend, just a day. Went up there on Sunday, came back on Monday. Unfortunately, we didn't get to come back, and it was a long ride home. It was a long 6-hour drive. But I had fun, and that's all that matters, right? But yes, I am a Bears fan. But with that being said, it was a great time. I had a beautiful time talking with you guys. I look forward to having more and more conversation. And guess what? Like I said, I will drop my bracket on Wednesday. I'll drop the video on Wednesday, release my bracket and what I picked. Like I said, check it out. Let me know what y'all think about it. Leave something in the comments. Let me know what y'all think. With that being said, I will catch you beautiful people on the next one. Right on.